Alright, let's talk about cancel culture. You've probably heard that phrase, a lot. It's bounced around the internet like a rogue tumbleweed. It's on the news. It's in your social media feeds. It's one of those things everyone seems to have an opinion on, even if they're not entirely sure what it means. Which, to be fair, is a lot of things on the internet. So what is this phenomenon that's got everyone so worked up? Is it a new thing? Or just old wine in a new, very loud digital bottle? Let's try to get a handle on it. Think of it like this, okay? Someone, usually a person with some kind of public profile, says or does something. This something is then deemed offensive, or harmful, or just plain stupid, by a significant number of people, online. And then, wham, the internet collectively decides this person is canceled. This isn't like canceling a magazine subscription though. Oh no. It means a call for that person to face consequences, serious ones. We're talking about losing their job, their platform, their public standing. It's essentially a widespread public boycott, but aimed squarely at an individual. And it happens with terrifying speed these days. Now the culture part of cancel culture is key here. This isn't just one or two people getting upset, it's a collective action, a widespread social behavior. Thousands, sometimes millions can join in. They express their disapproval, very publicly, very loudly, using all the tools the internet provides. Hashtags trend globally, angry posts go viral, video takedowns get millions of views. It's a massive wave of public sentiment, and it can be incredibly powerful. For the person on the receiving end, it can feel like the entire world has turned against them. It's a defining feature of our modern online life. So, this whole cancel culture business, it's a potent force, isn't it? A digital superpower almost. And like all forms of power, it can be used in different ways. Some will tell you it's a vital tool for social justice, a way to hold the powerful accountable. Others will scream that it's nothing more than mob rule, online bullying dressed up as activism. The truth, as it so often is probably lurking somewhere in the messy middle. It's not a simple good or bad situation. It's complicated, so let's wade into these murky digital waters together, shall we? Because understanding this is rather important. Okay, so how does one actually get canceled? What's the process? It usually kicks off with a spark, a digital flashpoint. Someone, perhaps a celebrity, a politician, or even just a regular person who briefly goes viral, does something, or says something. It could be a recent comment made in an interview, or, and this is a classic, an old problematic social media post that someone has unearthed. Those ancient tweets, they're like digital landmines, just waiting. They always seem to find their way back, don't they? Like a poorly judged fashion choice from your youth, but with more severe consequences. Then comes the amplification, the internet's giant megaphone. Social media platforms are the main stage for this. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, you name it. Someone spots the offending item, they share it, then others share it. And it spreads like wildfire in a dry forest. Hashtags are born, you've seen them. Hash so-and-so is over party, or hash cancel whoever. These act as rallying cries. They gather all the outrage into one easily searchable, highly visible stream of indignation. It quickly becomes a trending topic, everyone's talking about it. The original context, often lost in the digital stampede. It's a snowball effect, gaining momentum with every share. As the online fury intensifies, so do the demands for action. This isn't just about expressing disapproval anymore. People start calling for tangible consequences. This person must be held accountable. They cry. They might demand a public apology, and not one of those carefully crafted sorry if you were offended non-apologies. They want genuine remorse. Often the calls go further. Pressure mounts on employers to terminate the individual's contract. Companies are urged to drop them from sponsorship deals. Publishers might be pushed to cancel book contracts. The sheer volume of these demands can be overwhelming for any person or organization, and the fallout from these online campaigns can be incredibly real. This isn't just some abstract internet game with no stakes. People do lose their jobs, their careers can be derailed, sometimes permanently. Public figures can see their endorsements vanish overnight, their carefully constructed reputations can be shattered. They might be deplatformed, meaning they're kicked off social media sites, losing their direct line of communication. The financial, professional, and personal toll can be devastating. It's a stark reminder that what happens online rarely stays online. It spills over into the real world with significant impact. It's serious business. Now let's explore why many people passionately support cancel culture, or at least the idea behind it. For them, it's primarily about accountability. Finally, They argue that for far too long, individuals in positions of power or influence could say or do harmful things, with little to no repercussions. Think about discriminatory remarks, harassment, or spreading misinformation. Supporters believe cancel culture provides a mechanism, a way for ordinary people, who often feel voiceless, to challenge such behavior, to collectively stand up and say, no, that is not acceptable, and crucially, to be heard. It can feel like a democratizing force. Furthermore, proponents often view it as a vital instrument for social justice. They see it as a way to drive positive societal change. By publicly calling out instances of racism, sexism, homophobia, or other forms of prejudice, it forces uncomfortable but necessary conversations into the open. It helps to educate the wider public. It can contribute to shifting societal norms about what kind of behavior is tolerable. The argument is that this public scrutiny can lead to a more inclusive and equitable society. It's about collectively drawing lines in the sand, and pushing for higher standards of conduct from everyone, especially those in the public eye. There's also the argument that cancel culture fills a void, a gap left by traditional systems of justice or redress. Let's be honest, the legal system can be slow, expensive, and sometimes ineffective, especially for certain types of harm. Corporate HR departments, they often protect the company first. So when these established channels fail to provide what people perceive as justice, or when they seem to shield the powerful, cancel culture can feel like the only recourse, the last resort. It's the court of public opinion stepping in when other courts seem to fail, a form of grassroots justice powered by collective will, and supporters will point to instances where it appears to have worked, where the public outcry has led to tangible positive outcomes. Individuals who have been canceled or faced intense criticism have issued apologies. Some have demonstrated a genuine commitment to learning and changing their behavior. Companies have altered harmful policies or pulled offensive products. Public figures have taken time for self-reflection and education. In these cases, the argument goes, cancel culture acted as a catalyst, a necessary wake-up call that prompted important changes and fostered a degree of accountability that might not have occurred otherwise. That's a powerful point. Alright, but then we have the other side of this digital coin, and it's a pretty weighty one. Critics of cancel culture argue that it frequently goes too far, way too far. The punishment, they contend, often bears no resemblance to the severity of the supposed crime. Someone might make an ill-judged joke, or a mistake they made years ago in a different context is dragged into the light, and suddenly, their entire career, their reputation, their personal life is being systematically dismantled online. Is that a proportionate response? Is that justice? Many people would say quite emphatically, no, it's less about constructive criticism, more about public shaming. Another significant concern is the glaring lack of due process. In a formal legal setting, you have the right to a defense. Evidence is presented and scrutinized. There are rules. Online, however, it's often a case of instant judgment by a very vocal, very angry crowd. Context is frequently ignored or deliberately stripped away. Nuance is the first casualty. Intentions are rarely considered. People can be branded guilty based on a screenshot or a short clip, without any opportunity to explain themselves or offer their perspective. It can resemble a digital witch hunt, where the goal is condemnation, not understanding or resolution. That's a troubling aspect, and let's be brutally honest here. This can very easily morph into severe online bullying. We're not just talking about reasoned criticism, we're talking about relentless, coordinated harassment, torrents of abusive messages, doxing, which is publishing private information, even threats of violence. The target of a cancellation campaign can find themselves utterly inundated with hate. The psychological toll of such an onslaught can be immense. Severe anxiety, depression, and isolation are common consequences. Is achieving social aims through methods that can destroy an individual's mental well-being truly progress? It's a deeply uncomfortable question. So where does all this leave us? It's a tangled web, isn't it? Cancel culture. Is it a righteous tool for accountability? A way for the marginalized to finally have their voices heard and demand change? Or has it become a runaway train of digital outrage? A form of mob justice where the punishment rarely fits the offense and compassion is in short supply? Can it effectively hold people answerable for their actions in a fair and constructive manner? Or does its current form too often devolve into online harassment with devastating personal consequences? There are compelling arguments on both sides, as we've seen. Perhaps the real challenge lies in finding a balance, a way to call out genuine wrongdoing while also allowing for human fallibility, for growth, and for redemption. What do you think? Is cancel culture in its current state truly fair? It's certainly something to ponder.